Hello and welcome back. This is episode 24 of our Disco Elysium playthrough. Last episode was a good one. Not for Billy. We had to tell her that her husband was dead. But we achieved a lot. We ticked off. We have nothing. Like all the tasks we picked up Wednesday. Done. We got to still speak to the smoker. I'm not super optimistic about today. Only because when there's good, there's also bad. Not far behind. We have to talk to Everett about opening the door. I'm still trying to avoid it, but I just don't think we can. I think it's a fairly key part. Because we opened that door for him. And we need to tell him that it's done now. I've been trying to avoid it. Because he kind of held us over a barrel. We tried to lie to him as well about having opened the door. But Harry / us failed. I guess it's a point of shame. So, let's go. We'll get in there. We'll talk to Everett. I don't think we need to talk to you. We'll see if you've got anything new to say.
Hola, wandering man.
That weasel I visited turns out he's one of colonial mug collection. No, I don't want to let anyone know that we've been inside. Because we weren't meant to go inside. I don't think. I was initially thinking that that Everett wanted us to go inside. And so I chose not to. But then when we didn't have any money that night and we were looking for things to pass time, we went back into his room. So this may come back and bite us in the ass. Who knows? Who knows with this game? Everything's a mystery. We don't need to go in there. Oh. Who knows? It's hard to predict, which I love. But, yeah. Alright, let's see if we can open this again. I think we upped a level. Persuade the door to open. 28. No. That's fine. Can you imagine what Kim will say if we open the door using our magic powers? Sheer will alone. I think he'll be very impressed. Leo. What have you got to say for yourself?
Oh, hey, mister. I need to be back to talk with old Leo here. Yeah.
No, nothing. Thank you, Leo. Alright, I've been dreading this conversation. Everett, you piece of shit.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today?
I've opened the door, you ask. Can we discuss the murder now? I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you? The deal was for me not to go inside, so I didn't. You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door, which you did, so we're all good here. He was testing you, and you succeeded. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. If it's for men like me and you to figure out who killed who and why, real police work is going to start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is going to be good. I heard about the connection between the lynching and strike. I'd like to hear what you know about it. By now, I'm sure you've figured out that the dead man was working for us, the bad guys. Oh, working for the bad guys. Wild Pine said to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flat caps. I'm listening. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by Wild Pine's group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries. You mean our victim? He nods gravely. A security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire. Composure. He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun. I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yasut, Semenine, Saramazia, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for seniority to Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Go on. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Go on. About my fun container? He chuckles. It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in here next time they move it. It'll be very fun, I promise. But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting his drunk, violent little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out. And trees. By negotiator, you mean Joyce. Harry, he says, ignoring Lieutenant. What you need to realize is we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. The whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Wait, who did the pushing? There's a militia wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly. Sounds a bit like an organized crime logic. They're like you guys. He nods to you and the lieutenant. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow. Again, that sounds like organized crime. So these idealists killed our victim? One day, Titus Hardy, leader of the peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, Boss, Socialist Democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burning the land. He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low and avoid retaliation. Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this? Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinese boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. Logic. He placed a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway. How did you know the mercenaries were hired by the shipping company? How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. It's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor worker in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over and the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turned up and started beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates. So you believe the scabs were organised by a security contractor? You said it. Hell, the fist slams on the desk again. One of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that just don't happen to show up during strikes. The name of the company is Cranell this time. It might have been Sediment before. Another question. You mentioned a lawyer girl? Oh, Liz is a bright one. He grins broadly. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn all hell fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. Reaction speed. Wait, the girl by Whirling, who was keeping an eye on you? Is he talking about her? We know that. Don't give him the pleasure. Better not mention it. Oh, it's another big grin. And she also really likes gardening, I hear. In March. Strange anyway. Let's move on. Tell me about Titus. Oh, they're simply fine young men, all 7 of them, exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement, core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative. Interesting, who's second in command? They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interest of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them, hell, interview them, but don't fight them. They really are just like you, men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. Logic. He's betting on them being useless to you. I met these Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate with me? But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk. You can now go and tell Titus about this, see what he has to say. Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I don't need it. I only wanted to help you with the Hardy boys. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? There's a bullet in the man's head. So they shot him. He sounds pleasantly surprised. He was shot in the head before he was hanged. How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I looked into that yard. Drama. It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth. What I do know is the case in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of the shot and hanged man, it's my 2 little policemen. Godspeed, policemen. Let's conclude for now. Was it a good talk? He leans back suddenly worried. I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. Great sadness comes over him. But it's like I can't completely trust you yet. Yet? Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you and you're not the man... And you're not a man of the left. He says slowly shaking hands. I want to, but I just can't. Frederick, a man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. Empathy. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats. Let's have a look. I'm not left or right. I do what my heart tells me. What does your heart tell you about the lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? He picked up something from his teeth. I think it's lonely and cold. I think it wants to be found and have a proposal for you. And what would this entail? Once again, I require nothing unethical or legal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper. And then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. Kim, what do you think of this? It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful. But he thinks it's your call. As I said, it weighs on me heavily. He bows his head in shame, then looks upon and smiles. But once we get really talking, well, I'm going to hand you the keys to Martinez and maybe help figure out who's behind the killing. Frederick, he's saying as little as possible vaguely as he can, but deliberately omitting things. What are the signatures for? I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union's going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're going to get these teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with the same old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures. You mean the fishing village? Yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast where all men have drowned in either the sea or the bottle. A gloomy place that doesn't have Union attitude. Sub-affair, you're already pretty deep into this. What's a little more? No one can see you here in Martinez. What will happen to the current occupants? They're just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to the fancy new youth centre designed by the best architects in Stella Marie. Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out on the street? He's sure no one's going to end up. Am I? The big man shakes his head in disbelief. Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them. We're going to build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, Harry, not pulling the rug from under them. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour. I'm going to say no and see what happens. Perfectly acceptable. No one's going to force you into anything, but I don't know about that gun of yours. You see, I'm a vengeful man, Harry. Part of how I got where it is, well, I can be quite nasty at times. But the good news is, the moment you change your mind and want to look into this matter, just tell me and we'll be buddies again. The lieutenant eyes meet you and shrugs. Okay, fine. Told the Union local drug trade? What? He smacks his forehead, completely flabbergasted. Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take this slander. Are you actually investigating this? The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell. I am. The man rubs his temple and closes his eyes in pain. You've hurt me, Harry. A friend. But you know what? I trust you. Like I trust all my friends, and now you'll never talk to me about this again, because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want. Let's change the subject. He's hiding his real reaction behind courtesy. Thank you for your understanding. The lieutenant looks in my eyes. We will continue to do what we must. You too, Lieutenant, huh? You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry. None taken. The man quickly replies and turns to you. Do we have anything else to do here? Finish my investigation. Ah, yes, your side investigation. Thank you. You got some spirit cleaning up the phony drug accusations along this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the key to the city, Harry. Now let's talk real business. Actually, Revachol doesn't have a mayor. He refused to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him. Alright, we better take the signature one. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you here. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac right past the pawn shop across the canal. I heard it was some trouble with the water lock, but it should be fixed now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. He runs his fingers through his hair. Alright. Talking to Everett, he's a piece of shit. white envelope with stamp attached. Inside are some legal documents with 2 names. Alright, you take the legal document out of the envelope. 1240 month construction, period zoning plan for the addendum. Look at the zoning plan. The U center cuts into the ocean like a bow of some great modern ship. Apparently it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and square below the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall. Visual calculus. It's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall, practically integrating them into the youth center. It's either ominous or cool architectural choice, hard to say. Conceptualization. My money's on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite. 92%. Kim, what do you think? I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not perfect solution, but how else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient to build things, and citizens inevitably have disagreements over such construction projects. But there's no other way. I want a loophole. Come on, 92. There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access for the next 12 to 40 months. Their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. What are the ramifications of this? Once construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out. Look, Kim, these people are going to have to move away. Can we do something about this? I should have seen it. The lieutenant frowns as he reads over the document. Everett probably has his eyes on us. We could try get other people to sign this instead of those listed, or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we're already gone. Why would we forge it? To make it void? To make it null and void? Let's have a look again. Alright, well that's fine. Get 2 signatures. Find someone to sign the document instead of the intended signees. Forge the signatures, but somewhere private. You feel safe enough to sleep. Alright, I'm not entirely sure. I think I missed something. Oh, money. Thank you. Should I try and open this again? With a bit more rhetoric. What's our rhetoric at the moment? 7. It's too high. Suggestion's quite low. Physical instruments down because we're doing trying to lose our alcoholism. People think what they want. You've already won. Skill enables you to implant ideas in the mind of others. You can make citizens like you more. You can make gangsters turn on each other. Let's have a look. Oops. Electrochemistry, shivers, physical instrument, interfacing, rhetoric, physical instrument, classy, volition, conceptualization, physical instrument. Everything's physical instrument. Even though it's down at the moment. Let's boogaloo. We'll get out of here. Just thinking of let's go back to our room. Who else could we get to sign the bits of paper? The other people in the fishing village? So he's the other mercenary. go down to the fishing village and we'll see what we can work out down there. It's the only way we're going to proceed with the murder investigation. We have to deal with Everett. That one. A creaking ahead, a broken axle grinding. Oh yeah. Just ignore it. Don't look at it, Harry. It was an old you incident. The underside of the boat has recently been tarred. Oh, we haven't been up here yet. What are these doing in the fish? Boots. Perception. Perception's already at 5. What are our current boots doing for us? Empathy 1. I think our empathy's a bit lower. Yeah, we'll keep the nice shoes on. Hello. Who are you?
Aye, officer.
A woman in the raincoat stands on the quay, on the quay, considering the overturned boat. A sword in the scabbard hangs from her hip.
Can help you with?
That depends. Where are we exactly?
Village on the seashore. This place doesn't really have a name. It's sometimes called Elysium. The sign on the street leading here is illegible. Has been since they built this place.
What is your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions, and that was actually the second one.
Indeed. You're always confused about your whereabouts. Nice sword. Does it come with a story? Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. I see him intimidate folk mostly. Do you know? It is imposing. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation. Why do you need intimidation tactics? From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the ways of it. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men, and believe me, she adds, tittering, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. Where are all these men now? Some went to patch their wounds and their lessons learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them ended up marrying. Where's your husband now? Gone. Gone where? To the waves. To the sea took him. It was a long time ago. Oh, say no more. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there drunk, like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated cops turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. I should have thrown you... It's healthy to let go and move on. Got to keep the wheel spinning. Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned him for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. She glances at the village where 2 little kids are playing with what looks like rocks. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids. This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better drunk. Ask her. Both of you need some action. Is that your boat? Sure is. The sun, I called her, coated with fresh layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days come. Sunny days? Aye. She looks at the snow melt in the water. Sunny days. You got a problem with that? No, ma'am. We have no quarrel with sunny days. Good. It would have been bad news had it turned out it wasn't a sunny day. Bad news for the skiff, bad news for the nets, bad news for the kids. There's a moment's silence. She looks at the slushy snow melt in the yellow belly of the boat. When do you think the boat will be ready? In time, she replies with a nod and adds, when the seas turn and the winds settle, she'll be ready. My prediction, it'll be at least 2 days. Alright. Now, I know I need to get you to sign the thing. However, I do want to... The planks creak beneath your weight. Wow, that's... The ladder leads in school of fish swimming with the kelp. However, I would like to look at this document without being watched. So I think if we go into where the lady said we could have a bed for the night, I'm assuming the old lady is the other person who needs to sign it. You can't see into the house from this angle. Inside, you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering. The door has seen better days. A layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the locks look rusty. I'll wait outside, give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement. But just so you'd know, after we're done with the day, I'll still be staying at the Whirling in Rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning. Don't leave, Kim. I'm coming back. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression. The floorboards creak under your step. You see the waves, the sea, a church. Old science fiction magazine, books about birdwatching, an almanac from 39. The intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth. Alright, let's have a look at this thing. 58. It's not enough. Let's see if we can find someone else to sign it. I have a feeling maybe the drunks. Maybe? Come on, Kim. Where are the drunks at? Oh. A drop in temperature, an easy flow of air, an empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking and hit steps, just silence. What did the smoke smell like? Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with black asphalt. The asphalt first laid in grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance. Who are these people who live across the road? A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man breathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware. About the bus stop. 312D. Young girls used to come here huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats gave them. The bus took them to school. It's not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost. What about the road? Craters pocked the surface. Children played with them until heavy trucks of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It's a vital artery of flow of trade. Perception. There's one bump in the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away, right at the turn. A dead dog? Tragedy came from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant. The wind moves the aerosol. The detectives stand behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of hair. Oh, okay, it's dead end. Gentlemen, I need you to sign this document, please.
Tequila Sunset.
Here you go. Could you and your pal sign this document? What's it about? He waves his hand apathetically. I'll let my hand address the situation. Maybe you've heard I used to be a successful businessman. I signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck they were. Anyone got a pen? The pro's gonna do it. Lend him my pen. Alright, he grabs the pen and paper, carefully scribbles on the dotted line next to Luan's signature. Idiot doom spiral. I need at least 2 signatures on the document. Hey Abs. Don't you call Abigail. I need you to sign this document right here. He waves the paper pen in front of the man's face. It's important. Don't call her. His trembling hand catches the paperwork. He lays it on his knee and starts writing slowly. The handwriting is almost illegible due to his shaky hands. His friend grabs the document and admires it. Dom, what you call Abigail. Great job, Abs. Nailed it. Can I have the pen back too? Don't know if I've mentioned it, but I'm used to a businessman, and as businessman, I'm going to keep the pen for my trouble. No, that was my favorite thing of all the things that you have. Sorry, Kim. Thanks. No problem. He looks around for a bottle. Now, where did I put it? Fucking hard work done for the day. Don't call me Abigail. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Should we go and mail this? I think I saw a mailbox in the plaza. Don't want any more stories. Oh, sorry, Kim. I know that was your favorite pen. I feel bad. I didn't want to lose it. What are we at? 6 o'clock. Let's go this way. We'll see if we can quickly find the cryptozoologist. We'll... Oh, hang on. A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirp. I won't go too far. Otherwise I'm going to get caught up in something else. As I continue to run as far as I can. I will get my my bag out again. Don't judge me. Oh, I've been here before. Yeah. I don't know where the cryptozoologist is. I don't know. We also need to talk to Titus. We're at the church. Maybe he's down here. That one we couldn't open, could we? No. We don't get in there. What do you mean? We get into like everywhere. Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door. No, we've gotten into every door thus far. That's what we do. We open the doors. We're cops. It's our perk. Even Everett knew that's part of the MO. But that's who we are, Yeah, I understand you. I like opening doors as much as the next guy. But this one simply is beyond repair and we don't have the resources needed to open it. Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in. He looks at the door with a rueful smile. At least you can think about opening it. About the doors in general. They are, after all, fundamental to your life. Perhaps something useful will come from this. What's our new thought? One more door. We have no more room for learning. Oh, we definitely haven't been this far. Cigarette butts cleaned away under the rock. Brand Termaturi. You make a mental note. Seems important somehow. Someone made a campfire here. Long time ago. A rusted broken control box for the radio relay tower. The ladder is too rusty to climb. The air seems eaten away at it. The relay tower coordinates boat traffic nearby. Barely. Oh, a tie. No. We have no physical instrument as is. Tiny inlets up in the far distance. Alright, well, I thought maybe the cryptozoologist might be around this way, but he does not appear to be. Let's do a quick little run around. Rhetoric and empathy. I'll take it. I need to sell some shirts. I don't believe there's anything else up this way. Should we go back into the church and tell the lady that they're not going to do a club? While we're here. Just add to the list of things that we need to do. We'll quickly tell her. What was her name? Sonia.
Yes, what is it?
Those ravers won't be bothering you anymore. I arrested them because they were planning a drug trade. You arrested them? Didn't think the cops in this place had it in them. Alright. That's all. Thanks. Alright. Post our letter. And then we don't need to go that way. And then we might call it a day. Hang on, stop running. Oh, we've got to go around this way. Looking back at you from the rust-coloured water, you... Wait, take a longer look at yourself and how you're reflected in that slick chemical rainbow. What do you see? Metaphor. It's always a metaphor. Some nasty water. Exactly. The blood of industry. The runoff from Coal City further down the coast. The engines of fortune once roared here. Great wealth poured into Revachol at the Delta, as did smoke, waste, sickness, and life. What happened? Rhetoric. The engine stopped. The West Revacholian industrial base was dismantled after the war. Now extinguished coke furnaces dot the landscape. A landscape despoiled by industry. Serious dereliction of duty in the cleanup. Perhaps you could dedicate your life to cleaning it up, but you're a cop. You must concern yourself with different messes. Even so, it's pretty to think. Okay, I don't know where this cryptozoologist is. Alright, let's go. Good exercise. Come on. Old mate selling his stuff. Post office box is over here. Drop it. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like crumpled letters. About a week's worth of mail has collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug Everett. You know he's going to play you somehow. Alright, let's get back to Everett, Lieutenant. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late. Very true. We're going to quickly... We will do that. I just want to see what's happened with the Hardy Boys. We won't talk to them this episode. I just want to see whether something's changed with the authority.
It's you again. What is it?
Discussed 8th Hardy. Angus can't take pressure. Confronted about drug trade. Strange reaction to Bullet. Me and Everett talked to you. Promise you cooperate. Oh, so you went and talked to my mummy. And now she's making me play with you. Is that what I am, lawman? And what happens if we don't? You going to go and telling us? Why don't you push me some more and find out, Gimp? You going to let him talk to me like that, Titus? Let's see. Yeah, I guess I am, you big pussy. He turns back to you. The old man sent word you'd be round again. That's the reason I'm being so forthcoming with you. Don't wear it out. It would take an army to bend Titus to its will, but having Everett back you up a little did seem to have some effect. Yeah, so that +1. So we're at 92 now. We will talk to him next episode. Anything else from Lizzie?
I've got nothing to say to you.
That's fine. Okay. Cool. We will wrap this one up there. Not a bad day. Can we try the container door again? We will talk to the smoke on the balcony. We should probably talk to Everett first because he closes up soon. So I need to stand outside to remind myself to talk to Everett. Otherwise I'll talk to the Hardy Boys first. I think that'll do it for now. Any suggestions for the channel or for this series, please let me know. I would really appreciate it. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching and I will catch you next time.